Morning to all students. I hope all are read the page number chapter 7 conservation of plants and animals. Read the page number 77 to 79. Okay. The previous class we studied about deforestation and its causes, consequences of deforestation, conservation of forest and wildlife, and also biosphere reserve. Okay, in this class we study about flora and fauna. Okay, you take a page number 18. Page number 18. Flora and fauna. Flora, plants found in a particular area are referred to as the flora of the area. Plant found in a particular area are referred to as the flora of the area. For example, flora in the Pachmarki Biosphere Reserve includes teak, silver fern, mango, etc. Okay. Fauna. Animals found in a particular area are referred to as the fauna of the area. For example, fauna in the Pachmarki Biosphere Reserve includes wolf, barking deer, and chinkara. Okay, cheetah, leopard, blue bull, etc. Okay. Then we study about flora and fauna. What is flora? The plant. Fauna means animals. Okay. The plants and animals found in a particular area are termed flora and fauna of that area. Okay. Next we study about endemic species. Species, a group of living organisms that can interbreed with each other are called a species. What is species? A group of living organisms that can interbreed with each other are called a species. Interbreed means reproductions. Okay, it means that only members of one species can reproduce offspring that are fertile and can give birth to future generations. Members of a species look like each other and share many characteristics. Okay, then endangered species, species whose number diminish so much that they might face extinction or vanish off the face of the earth. Okay, are known as endangered species. That can be endangered animal as endangered plants. Okay, endemic species, a species of plants and animal that are exclusively found in a particular area are called endemic to the zone, state or country. The endemic species are not found anywhere else naturally. For example, endemic flora of the Pachmarki Biosphere Reserve includes sal and wild mango. Sal and wild mango. You see the picture, the sal tree and also wild mango in flora. Okay. Then endemic fauna of the Pachmarki Biosphere Reserve includes bison, Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrel also. Okay, you see that picture also. Then we goes to a wildlife sanctuary. The wildlife sanctuaries are reserved forest where wild animals are protected and provide with suitable living condition. Wildlife sanctuaries are reserved forests where wild animals and protected and provided with a suitable living condition. Unlike a zoo, animal in wildlife sanctuaries live in their natural habitats and are free to roam anywhere as they like. Okay, wildlife sanctuaries are reserved forests where wild animals are protected and provided with a suitable living condition. People living with wildlife sanctuaries can graze livestock and collect firewood or medicinal plants. And activities prohibited in wildlife sanctuaries include killing, poaching animals, capturing animals. These activities in wildlife sanctuaries are punishable by law. Okay. Wildlife sanctuaries in India. Indian wildlife sanctuaries have unique land caps which include broad level forest, mountain forest and bushland in the deltas of big rivers. Okay. They protect several threatened wildlife species such as golden cat, pink-headed duck, black buck, white-eyed buck, and marsh crocodile, elephant, rhinoceros, python, etc. Okay. Unfortunately, Pench National Park, Madhya Pradesh, Sarikha National Park, Rajasthan, Kanaga National Park, Madhya Pradesh, Ranthambore National Park, Rajasthan. Okay. Why do animals become extinct? Disturbance in the natural habitat of animals make it difficult for them to survive and hence become extinct. Why do animals become extinct? Disturbance in the natural habitat of animals make it difficult for them to survive and hence become extinct. For example, dinosaurs became extinct thousands of years ago. Why do we need to conserve animals? Animals such as lizard, snake, owl and bat play a particular role in an ecosystem and help in maintaining its balance. They form part of food chains and food webs. We need to conserve different life forms to make sure that the natural balance does not get disturbed. Okay. What do we mean by an ecosystem? An ecosystem refers to the living organism and non-living component of a place including plants, animal, microorganism, climate, soil, river, deltas, etc. Okay. Next we goes to red data book. Red data book. International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, okay, International Union for Conservation of Nature maintains a record of all the endangered animal and plants in the world and calls it Red Data Book. India also maintains its own Red Data Book which keeps a record to endangered plants and animal found in. You see, the golden toad now makes the extinct as well as the extinct in the wild list of IUCN red list. Okay, there is a red data list too, which is also known as IUCN red list of threatened species or IUCN red list, which classified all known plant and animal species into 9 groups. The first extinct no known individual of the species as alive. Then extinct in the wild. No known individual of the species in the wilderness species in the wilderness they exist only in captivity. Critically endangered species that are at extremely high risk of being extinct in the wilderness. Endangered species that are at high risk of being extinct in the wilderness. Okay. Vulnerable species that are at a high risk of being endangered in the wilderness. Okay, near threatened species that are likely to become endangered in the near future. Least concern species with found in abundance and is not at risk. Data deficient species about which we do not have enough data to assess its extinction risk. Not evaluated species which has not yet been evaluated on the criteria adopted by the IUCN. Okay. Species that fall in the critical endangered, then endangered and vulnerable categories are also referred as the threatened species. Okay, this is red data book. Okay, this is a red data books. Next we goes to migration. Migration means the movement of birds or animals or humans over long distance to live in a new location permanently or temporarily. Okay, migration means this migration is the movement of birds, animals and humans over long distance to live in a new location permanently or temporarily. Migratory birds are birds that fly to faraway areas every year to avoid harsh and inhospitable weather condition in their natural habitat. They cover long distances to reach another land to and lay their eggs. Okay, that is migration. Recycling of paper. Okay, recycling of paper. Why should we recycle paper? For what reason? We need to cut seven full grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. We can easily reuse and recycle paper for 5 to 7 trees. Reducing our consumption of paper can save trees and also save water, their natural habitat. They cover long distances to reach another land to and lay their eggs. Okay, that is migration. Recycling of paper. Okay, recycling of paper. Why should we recycle paper? For what reason? We need to cut seven full grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. We can easily reuse and recycle paper for 5 to 7 trees. Reducing our consumption of paper can save trees and also save water and energy used to manufacture paper. Besides, it can also help in reducing to use of harmful chemicals that are used to make paper. Okay. Then we goes to reforestation. What's that meaning? Reforestation, it is the opposite of deforestation. It is the opposite of deforestation. And here we plant new trees to restock forests that have been destroyed. In India, we have the Forest Conservation Act, which aims to preserve and conserve natural forest and meet the basic needs of the people living in or near them. Reforestation can happen naturally or can be done artificially. If a deforested area is left undisturbed for some time, the forest grow again. However, we cut more trees than the ones that grows on their own, and hence we should plant trees to promote reforestation. Ideally, we should plant as many trees as had been cut down, and the new tree should be of the same species as the earlier one. Okay. Padma Shri Jada Mollai, being the forest man of India, is an environmental activities and forestry worker. He is from Jharkhand, India, and single-handedly planted and nurtured a forest encompassing an area of 1,360 hectares across several decades along the sandbar of river Brahmaputra. He was awarded Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in India, in 2015 for the fear. The forest he planted is called Mollai forest after him. Okay. Will encroach upon the land of this protected forest area and destroy them. Okay. There are 543 wildlife sanctuaries in India, which included as many as 50 tiger reserves, which focus on the conservation of tiger. The tiger reserve work under Project Tiger. Jim Corbett was the first tiger reserve of India. It is situated in the Uttarakhand and is also the oldest national park in India, Uttarakhand. Okay. Then Project Tiger is a government initiative to protect tigers. Its objective was to ensure the survival and maintenance of the population of tigers in India. Similarly, some of these wildlife sanctuaries are called bird sanctuaries as they focus on protecting birds. Kyolidio National Park, for example, was a bird sanctuary before it attained the national park status. Some national parks focus on conserving a particular species. For example, Jawai Leopard Sanctuary, which is in Rajasthan. Okay. Then National Park. National Park are large forest reserves that attempt to preserve the entire ecosystem within the area, including the landscape, flora and fauna, the historic object of the area. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. Within this forest, you can find in finest Indian teak as well as a rock shelter, which are evidence of the prehistoric human life in the area. There are a total of 55 rock shelters in Pachmarki Biosphere Reserve, which also feature rock painting depicting figures of men fighting with animals, hunting scenes, dancing and playing musical instruments. Many tribal are still living in the area. Okay, national parks in India. There are 104 national parks in India. Top 10 of this national park included Jim Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand, Haziranga National Park, Assam, Gir Forest National Park, Gujarat, Sundarban National Park, West Bengal, Satpura National Park, Madhya Pradesh,